पाकिस्तान की काली करतूतों को भारत दुनिया के सामने रख रहा है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में भारत के पराक्रम को भारत के राजनेता दुनिया में बता रहे हैं। इसी कड़ी में कांग्रेस सांसद शशि थरूर के नेतृत्व में सर्वदलीय प्रतिनिधिमंडल अमेरिका पहुंचा है, जहां उन्होंने डेलीगेशन के साथ न्यूयॉर्क में 9/11 स्मारक पर श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित की।
So we are here, we've just arrived from India, today in fact this afternoon, and our very first stop has been to this moving September 11 memorial. I was in New York myself on 9/11 and I still remember vividly the experience of the horror of that day. I remember going on CNN that evening, international, and saying that we are all New Yorkers now. And it's a reminder of the solidarity that all people around the world feel in the face of terrorism. The solidarity that we are here to express today with the victims who span so many different nationalities, Americans and Indians and so many others were victims of 9/11, is a reminder, sadly, that we ourselves in India have been subject to the same wounds that you are seeing the scars of today in this very moving memorial. So we have come in a spirit of solidarity. We have come at the same time on a mission. We are traveling to 5 countries. We will be back in the US at the end of a journey that will take us to Guyana, Panama, Colombia and Brazil before we return to Washington. And in these countries we are hoping to be able to explain to the world how important it is for all of us to stand together against the scourge of terrorism. Just as the US showed such resolution and determination in the wake of 9/11, so too our country has stood up against the forces of evil who attacked us on the 22nd of April. We hope that a lesson has been learned by those who perpetrated this attack and by those who finance, train, equip and direct them. But we want to communicate to the world that we will not be sitting quietly if this is repeated, and we want the world to understand that this is not a time for indifference, but for mutual strength and mutual solidarity, so that we can all unitedly stand up for the values that the United States has always cherished, the values of democracy, of human freedom, of diversity, of coexistence of people of different communities, none of which sadly is in the agenda of those who conducted such attacks. I'll stop there if you have any particular questions.
Call for zero tolerance for terrorism. That's what India has been highlighting, and that will be one of your messages when you go to all these other countries.
Absolutely.
And also, you mentioned the perpetrators need to be brought to justice, and those who provide safe havens to these terrorist organizations, Pakistan, there has to be accountability. So, can you share?
Well, I mean, the problem with the Pakistani behavior is that we have seen this now for almost 4 decades. In some ways, you can say it started with the very creation of Pakistan when they first sent terror groups across the border into Kashmir, disguised as tribes people. But subsequently, since 1989 in particular, when the Soviet Union withdrew from Afghanistan and the Pakistanis were able to turn their attention towards us, we have been systematically the victims of repeated attacks. It's not 1 or 2. If you take small attacks into account, then we're looking at a couple of dozen attacks almost every year. If you take the major attacks, where the victims, the civilian and other victims, are at least in 2 figures, we're easily talking about 25 major attacks in this century alone. So that we are not just sitting around allowing this to keep on happening to us. We would much rather not have to deal with this problem. We would much rather focus on our own growth, our own development. India has a great adventure in bringing its people into the 21st century, willing and able to take advantage of all the opportunities that this century offers for economic development, prosperity, high technology and international cooperation. But if that is going to be thwarted or attempted to be thwarted by malign people with weapons, then we will answer them in kind. And that is also part of our message. Yes, perpetrators of terror should indeed be brought to justice, and we are not going to stop our hunt for those who did this latest atrocity. But we need to think about where these people are based, where they have safe havens, where they are trained, equipped, financed, guided, armed, and often directly directed to perpetrate these horrors. And they too should be accountable for what they have been doing.